At the beginning of the story we see a blonde-haired man talking on the phone, who gives a strange reaction to seeing a man and says that this neighborhood is very messed up. Did you see that beggar roaming around? And then we are shown the man who is none other than our main character, who is the material god of Murim, and his name is Kangso. Even before he reached the age of 40, the martial god Kangso had conquered the world. While he is in the midst of consolidating his energy after attaining enlightenment, he suddenly falls into a newly formed rift. Now he arrives in 21st century South Korea, a land desolate with gates and demonic beasts. Now Kangso is very confused and wondering where on earth he is. This place is not the OK Kingdom where he lived. He has no idea where this place is. It's not an illusion as it looks very lifelike. First, he has to find out what kind of place it is. Then suddenly the people present there are giving strange reactions after seeing him and are talking about him. Then our main character realizes this and says, it is very noisy. And then we are told, whoever the great king Yamra calls by that name will surely die. Anyone who encountered him did not hesitate to dub him the Emperor of Flames. He has no mercy. Leave aside the tears. He took the form of a human being, but his condition was no longer human. Wherever he passed, there were only screams and the stench of blood. No one dared to follow his footsteps because he was none other than the god of death. He cut down the absolute leader of Murim of the dark path was on, and even forced the leader of the heavenly demon sect, which was deeply connected to it, to kneel. Through these series of events, he was revered as the pinnacle among all martial artists, whether righteous or evil, and became known as the god of martial arts. And then we are shown a scene from the Kangso past, where he is sitting and drinking tea. The days of the past seem like dreams to him now. He thought that his life could never escape bloodshed and violence. Then we see a little girl who asks Kangso, "Look at this. Beautiful, is not it?" And then Kangso answers, "I don't know. What beauty do you see in those wild flowers scattered all around?" And then the little girl says, "Tusk, you don't even know what happiness is, sir. Happiness is that feeling and laughter, even when nothing special happens. A day will come when you too will realize this, right? Till then I will share my happiness with you." And then Yamra takes the flower in his hand. And then he started thinking that, by meeting you, I have become a person who can cry and laugh, who knew that happiness would take priority in such a chaotic life. Now that he has found his happiness, what should I do? Should I seek my own happiness in life? I don't need to be so obsessed with crying and laughing, right? Happy life. Is that what they call a quick climb up? Becoming a god and ascending to heaven after attaining enlightenment. And then the scene shifts. We are shown a flashback to how Kangso came into this world. We see Kangso, who is not in her own world but in another world. And then he opens his eyes and starts thinking, where am I? Was I not in the midst of a journey toward immortality? Or could I be attacked by an illusion without even realizing it? Anyway, I should go back soon. Is there any way out of here? I should get out of here first and assess the situation. Then suddenly a demon appears behind his back. Then we see a group of hunters who appears in the same dungeon as Kangso. Then one of the men asked his team leader, "This is supposed to be a class gate, but isn't it very quiet here?" The team leader replied, "This bastard, did you fall asleep during your theory class? A class dungeon has monsters of greater importance than others." And then the team leader says, "It's been 5 years since that incident, when Team Zero's security was lowered due to a situation like this. They faced a horde of demons gathered inside the gate, and they were eliminated." And the man says sorry. Then the leader sees something and forbids everyone to move. And then the team leader looks at that thing and says, "Damn it, I didn't even realize its presence. Then when did it come here?" And a class monster was hiding as if it was dead. And then that team leader starts moving forward and says to a team member, "Everyone steps back. I'll block it here." Anyway, we are then shown a demon who is already dead. Seeing this, the team leader and everyone else gets surprised. And then they report all this, saying that inside the cave, several corpses of a class Cyclops and B-class magic beads have been found. All high-level demons currently inside the gate have been eliminated. I will report the details after our investigation is over, from which we come to know that Kangso has killed all those monsters. Just then a member comes and says, "The team leader briefing is over." So could it be that there was some kind of internal feud between these demons? The team leader replies, "Even if that's the case, it's impossible for Cyclops to get injured like this with only those low-level magical beasts." And then the member says, "So, some other guilds besides us must have targeted this place. Isn't every guild targeting high-level gates these days?" The team leader replies, "I wonder, is there a guild in South Korea that can blow up in a class dungeon like this without anyone knowing?" The scene changes and we see Kangso walking out of the dungeon. He starts wondering where he is again. After gaining some new senses, when he opened his eyes, he was wandering in a cave full of demons. He wondered why the demons whom he could kill with just one punch came at me so strongly. He somehow managed to get out and went outside. And then he starts looking for something to wear, and then he sees the skeleton of a human being. He takes her clothes and wears them. He again reaches a completely unfamiliar place. All he can see is dirt, collapsed buildings, and white bones. He can't feel any sign of life or movement. Those despicable wizards. In the past, he had to face the fanatics of Heavenly Demon Sect. Those wizards attempted to use magic that was considered forbidden. In magical society, the power he felt at that time is the same even at this time. Although he can currently clear this obscure magic, he cannot use his ability to rush to an unknown place. And then he starts thinking about getting out of here. He will try to go in the direction where he can feel the least amount of this contaminated energy. And then he starts walking. From there, the scene changes and we are shown inside a restaurant, where it was being shown on TV that the Korean Awakening Association has not taken any clear stand regarding the recent gate incident. In the United States and China, where the level of awareness is zero, there is discussion about this gate. We then see a girl and a boy, to whom the girl says, "When will our black bean noodles be served?" Then a girl comes with noodles who is Lim Soyoung, vice president of Yongchungak. She serves noodles. Just then a man with glasses walks in. Seeing this, Lim Soyoung says, "Welcome. Oh my God, it's been a long time since you've been here, right?" They seem to have a history together. And then we find out that the man is Beek, the team leader of the Awakeners Association. He says, "Hello, please give me a bowl of black bean noodles." Lim Soyoung asked him, "You look really tired. Are you okay?" Beek, replied, "Did you see the news? Another gate has appeared in the land of death. We are dying trying to mediate between guilds feuding over the monopoly on that gate. Because everyone is coming at us trying to monopolize the gate. Everyone is getting out of control. Everyone is racing to secure the magical stones. And accidents inside the gates have increased significantly these days." Then a chef comes, who is Yu Sunti, the boss of Yongchungak, and tells that I know, okay, more gates have been built recently, right? Well, for people like us, we can benefit from the increase in the supply of magical stones, which will reduce its prices. But the continued presence of magical beasts is frightening, and it seems that because of the gate we will have to see what it will be forced is not likely to be visible. Customers are coming from above. Then Beek says, "No one really leaves their house at a time like this, so they in a box falls." And we see the same blonde boy we saw in the beginning. He works as a delivery boy in this restaurant. And then the blonde man angrily says, "Ah, crap, I can't live like this. There's another door. I can't do this anymore." And then you say, "Hey, that's why I doubled your hourly wage last time." The blonde boy says, "Ah, do you really think my life can only be this much? Since I can't do it anymore, I'll either raise my salary or find someone new to do it for you. Listen, how can you do this suddenly? Don't do that and think about my situation." The blonde boy replied, "Nonsense, can't you understand me? You either raise my salary because I'm risking my life, or hire new people." And Yu Sunta says to Lim Soyoung that, "Oh my God, just think, isn't it time to become young? Why don't you go and get him?" Lim Soyoung replies, "The time has not yet come." Sunti says, "No, you should go now so you won't be late." Lim Soyoung replied, "I understand, I will come back." And Sunti begins to think people are worried because of the gate, and more residents are leaving the area. So it has become even more difficult to keep even one employee. And this guy is becoming even more stubborn. And then we see a blonde guy who's thinking he's finally settled here, so he can't leave. The scene shifts, and we see our main character thinking that this is definitely different from where he was, but there are similarities. There are many people with similar inner energy. Then Kang-soo looks at a little girl and says, "Especially that little girl. She has an energy that sets herself apart from others. If he has such pure energy, could this be a child who knows something?" But then a strong wind blows, causing the girl's headband to blow away, and she starts to go after the remaining headband when her mother says, "Hyung, it's dangerous for you to run away." From which we came to know that the name of that little girl is Hyung. Still, the little girl means Hyung doesn't listen to her mother and goes to get the headband. Then she finally gets her headband, but then a truck comes toward the girl. But then Kang-soo saves the kid. Then Kang-soo tells the girl, "It was dangerous. Are you okay?" Then a child's mother comes to him and says to Kang, "So, thank you very much. I don't know how I will be able to repay you." Kang-soo replied that it was okay. "I just feel relieved that the child is safe." And looking at the girl, he began to think that, since he had injected energy into her body to block the veins, he was confident that she would be safe. Then the girl's mother asks Kang, are you hurt? Since we can't be sure, why don't we go to the hospital together? I am right in saying so. Just then, the sound of hunger comes from Kang Soo's stomach. Seeing this, both the little girl and her mother is surprised. And then Hyung asks Kang, are you hungry? It seems that Kang is thinking about the last meal he ate. Those dumplings he ate just before arriving at this place. Then the Hyung gave a cute reaction to Kang So and said, my father is a chef. Let's eat together. And then that girl's mother says, yes, let's do this. As Hang said, at least eat before you leave. You saved my daughter, so I want to at least feed you. Kang Soo replies, it's okay. It was something I was supposed to do. It wasn't something I did to get a reward, so there's no need to worry about me. Still, I wouldn't say no. And then the scene changes and we see the inside of the restaurant. Hyeyoung's father Sun is shocked and asks Hyeyoung was almost hit by a car. And then he touches Hyung and says, Hyung, are you okay? Are you hurt? Should we go to the hospital? Hyung is okay, dear, Lim Soyoung explains. This man saved him. I wanted to feed him, so I brought him here. Sun shook Kang So's hand and said, oh God, thank you so much for saving our Hyung. I can feed you as much as you want, so please come in. After this, Kang gave a strange reaction and thanked him. Just then, Hyung comes to Kang So and says, Dad said you can't get dirty when you eat. And then Kang Soo looked at his clothes, which were very dirty. Big Santa then gave some clothes to Kang Soo to wear and said, after I gained weight, these clothes no longer fit me. Since we are the same height, these clothes should fit you. Look, I'll give you socks too. Then Kang Soo looks around and starts wondering, is this the bathroom? Its 4 arms are extremely bright and radiant. But where is the well? And Kang Soo looks towards the toilet and says, Sunti, excuse me, I'm sorry, but there is not enough water in the well. And then Baek Santa gets confused and replies, excuse me? Thoroughly, what are you talking about? Kang Soo shows the toilet and tells Sunt, this well is right here. There is very little water to wash my body. Santa gets shocked seeing this and says, gasp, that is not a well, that's the toilet. After this Kang replies, toilet. Did you mean to say toilet? Santi said, yes, that is correct. Of course, toilet. Water is also tap water, but would you like to take a bath first? And then he shows Kang So the shower and further explains that if you turn this lever the water will come out. And then Kang Soo turns on the shower, due to which the shower throws water everywhere. Sant tells him to quickly turn off the shower. We see that Kang got scared and said, how is the snake spraying water here? Sunti explains that it is not a snake, but a shower head. And then he turns off the shower and say tiredly, Sunti, finally it's over. Kang Soo wipes his face and says, what a refreshing thank you. Then suddenly Sant asks Kang, sorry if I have gone too far, but where are you from? And then Kang Soo starts wondering how he should explain his situation. And then we see Kang Soo tell both of them that he has lost his memories. And he explains that he hasn't lost all his memories, but he doesn't know how he got here from where he lived before. Sunt reacts and says, oh God, that's it, that's why you were dressed like that. It seems as if the cave you came out of a door. Kang So asks about the gate, what it is. Sant explains that these are places that suddenly appeared one day. To this day, they still don't know what they are. Those places are like doors, where things suddenly appear and disappear. Sometimes, they're people who get swept away by the gate, lose their memories and become isolated before returning. In severe cases, they lose all their existing memories, and they even lose their sense of civilization. That is why they call the stranded and returned people separatists. Says, anyway, I will tell you the details later. First of all, let's eat the food before it gets cold. And then, Kang Soo says thanks for the food. And looking at the food he asks, based on the color, this food doesn't look safe. Looking at this food, it reminded him of the water training he received in the swamp as a child. At that time, in order to survive, Kang struggled for some time, drinking water in the swamp which was polluted with blood and filth. Then suddenly Hyung asks Kang, why is he not eating? Didn't he like black bean noodles? Kang replied, how do they eat this food? Hyung explains that for this you will have to mix it and rotate it here and there. And then Hyung feeds Kang Soo some noodles. After eating noodles, Kang So finds the noodles very tasty. For starters, although a little strange in appearance, the taste is amazing. A taste he couldn't experience anywhere else. Sant explains that he wanted to treat Kang better, but it was too late, and he didn't have a lot of stuff. Then, Lim Soyoung says, next time we will treat you even better. Kang replied that he just wanted to eat another bowl of it. Lim Soyoung says, okay, I'll give you as much as you want. The scene changes and we see Kang Soo saying thanks for the food. If you want black bean noodles, again Baksant would recommend nothing more than stopping by anytime. Just then Kang Soo sees a notice for a delivery boy job and Kang Soo asks Baksant, What does this sign on the front door means? Part-time delivery worker required. Sunt explains, it means that we are looking for people who can work for us. The workers we requested unfair wages ... so we are immediately recruiting new workers. Kong asks, if someone does delivery, does that mean he gets room and board too? Sant says yes, because there are very few people willing to do the job. Kang needed a place to stay before returning to his original world, so now is a good time. If he starts working here, he will be able to learn how to live in this world. Kong asks Beck Sant about this job. Can he take it? Sant replied, do you want it? We would be grateful if you did, but since you are a separatist, a legislator. Then suddenly Lim Soyoung says, dear, he is the one who saved Hyung. Why should we help? I heard there was a way for civilians to become guarantors for the separatists. This is an arranged relationship. Why don't we guarantee his identity and appoint him as a delivery man? It is said, Sunti, it is true, this was the way. Okay, I will be your guarantor. Kang Soo replied, thank you very much. I will try my best in this delivery job. My name is Kang So. I am 35 years old. Since we're the same age, why don't we talk informally? Kang replied, of course, I look forward to working with you, Sunti. And then saying this they fold both their hands. And then we are shown a scene from Kang Soo's past life in which the sweet little girl takes the name Kang Soo and tells us that this is a name I made up in the hopes that you will always smile. Kang replies that you don't have any talent for naming. And then the girls say, that's a very beautiful strong smile, Kang Soo. Kang So is the short form of Kang and Miso, which means a strong smile. Kang So looks at the girl and starts smiling and says, okay, Kang So, let's use this as my name. The scene changes and we see Kang Soo, who is meditating in his room. Then Kang Soo opens his eyes and explains, this place is full of pure energy. There are many things that I couldn't even imagine where I lived. It is truly a magical place. Just then Santi comes into the room. Kang Soo says good morning to Sunti. Sunti asks, what are you doing after switching off the lights? Kong says, I only came here because there are no candles. And then Sunt thinks I should also tell him how to turn on the lights. And then Sunti tells Kang, if you press the button here the lights will come on. Kang Soo, this looks interesting. Just then Sueung comes and asks Kang So, oh my god, did you wake up early? Good morning, Kang So. Kang Soo speaks to Sueung, will you start cooking at this time? But then Sunti tells, it is not so, but we should prepare for the business. There is still a lot of work. Kang So asks, Sunti, can I help with something? Although you can relax a little more. I'm sorry for making you do anything other than delivery. Kang replied that he did not care. He wants to repay the kindness you showed me. Sunti says, can I ask you to clean? Kang was given a vacuum cleaner to handle the work, but his reaction was not typical. He raised the vacuum cleaner as if it were a wonder weapon. However, there was one small problem. He had no idea how to use it. Thankfully, Sue came to the rescue with a detailed explanation of her work. Sue explains how the vacuum works, emphasizing its dust-sucking power and how it cleans efficiently when you press the power. Despite his initial nervousness, Kang decides to give it a chance, as he aimed the vacuum cleaner at himself. For a moment it seemed as if he would be sucked straight into the machine. It was clear that he would need some time to master this new cleaning equipment. Soon, Kang is left to his own devices, as Sue directs him back to the kitchen. The situation seemed difficult to Kang, who considered whether he should use some of his powers to make the task easier. He raised his hand in the air and, to everyone's surprise, a swirling cloud of dust was formed. Then, as if by magic, all the scattered debris went into the trash. Kang was proving to be not just a sweeper but a true master of cleanliness. On to the next, Kang brought a container of water and started cleaning everything, making it shiny. This level of cleaning was nothing short of perfection, and Kang was satisfied with his work. As he was completing the work, Sant entered the room and noticed a remarkable change from disorder to pristine cleanliness. In the end, Kang not only conquered the vacuum cleaner, but demonstrated his amazing ability to clean things thoroughly and efficiently. He seemed to have an innate talent for just about anything. As the saying goes, done and dusted. And with the arrival of Sant, it seemed that everything was in perfect order. Santi was surprised and asked Kang So if this was his normal ability. Kang So replied, saying that his abilities were normal for him. Sant was shocked and wondered if Kino was a high-level awakened being. He said that ever since the door, which was a mysterious door, opened 25 years ago, people started exhibiting amazing abilities. Sant noticed that the gate was purple in color and wondered if it had any significance. He explained that people around him had a special aura that allowed them to perform telekinesis, or control elemental forces. Sant saw some people lifting furniture with their minds, and others wielding weapons with powerful glowing effects. He speculated that the woman with the sword was an attacker, while the woman with the mace was a formidable protector. Sant further explained that the efficiency of controlling one's aura determines their grades. He showed 3 individuals as examples of different grades of proficiency. The better a person is at controlling his aura, the higher his grade will be. This also meant that they would be treated differently based on their abilities. Sant is shocked by all this information and reveals that he used to work as a porter for the Awakeness, but none of them could handle his aura as efficiently as he could. He felt that his time was wasted in working among them. However, Kino surprises Sant by revealing that he has no plans to become a hunter. Sant did not understand why this was so and said that high-level awakened people were highly respected, almost like nobles. This confused Sant even more. Kino clenched his fists and expressed regret over his past pursuit of wealth and honor. He realized how fleeting and imperfect they were. Sant is surprised by Kano's words and questions whether he has regained his memories. Kino clarified that he did not get his memories back but shared his story. He explained that he woke up in the middle of a mysterious portal and was being chased by a powerful energy. During his journey, he met his daughter Hen and rescued her. Sant was surprised by this revelation. Kino assures Sant that he has no intention of betraying her. He just wanted to share his experiences. Sant begins to understand that there is more to Kino than meets the eye. Then suddenly Sant put his hand on Kang So's shoulder. This made the Santi cry and talk about how hard it was to end up in a strange place. Sant seemed like a sensitive person, and they decided to keep his secret life hidden.